Hi guys, it's Jamie and it's taco time. Today's project is taco holders, and I've made two different styles here. One is for 2 and one is for 3. So date night when you're eating it by yourself. So a couple things about these. I first created this one and I enjoyed it with tacos. It was great, but I wanted that third taco. So anyway, I came up with the third one, and as you can see, this one has a little bit more depth to it than this one, but I find it really doesn't matter. This is just fine. So when I show you the pattern, if you want to adjust this one down to be the same depth as this one, that's fine too. I'll show you how I came about with that. So let's get started. I've already rolled my slab out. This is B-mix with grog. It's important when you do this project that you use something with a little tooth in it. You do want some grog in here. I think just straight B-mix would fall down in the kiln, so I would not recommend it. Anyway, my pattern is just this strip of paper. This is 6 inches wide, and then I have it super long because I use it for other things. So this is for 4 different projects within my classes. We're just going to look at the first two, which is the 2-step taco or the 3 steps for taco. So we're just going to do the 2 today, and also additionally I have marked on here where the creases go for the taco. So I'm going to have 3 folds for my longer taco. And those 3 folds are marked by the longer lines here. These are 2 inches apart. So the other taco is 2.5 inches apart, and that's denoted by the shorter one here, and here to here, and here. All right, so let's get this cut out and get started. Before you put your pattern away, it's good to make registration marks. We'll save this strip over here for some support underneath later on. Once again, I'm using the short lines because I'm using the 2 tacos, and this is 2.5 inches apart. Before I do any more, I'm just going to soften up the edges a little bit. Now I'm going to apply some decorations before I do my folding. And one of the things I did during our sheltering is created some stamps that were done in the South American Colombian decoration style, and they're not fully dry yet. I think I'm going to be able to use them for 1 or 2 times, and then that'll be good. So let me get going on that. Not too bad. Alright, so now we're going to do, it looks like it's gotten out of shape a little bit, so I'm just going to use a ruler to push it back in. Alright, so now I'm ready to do the first big fold, and it's important that when you're doing this that you used clay that is fresh. We're going to get it into the accordion shape, and then we're going to let it set up and come back and do some refinement to it, but you're going to notice that you're going to get a lot of cracks if you don't do it when it's fresh. Alright, so I have my lines here, or my markers, and that's where I know I'm going to make my folds. So the very first fold for the 2 taco tray is going to be outward, so I'm going to take it and go like this. And then if you were doing it for the 3 tray, you would be in the middle and coming in and going this direction with your design facing in towards you. Initially, I had built a contraption that had the steps in it, so I could easily just drape it and go, but it's not so easy to have that contraption if you're teaching this in a class. So my main big curves are done now, and before I do any other refinement on this piece, I'm going to let it set up for at least a half hour. So let's put this to the side. And I'm just smoothing out the little marks that where I marked where the folds were going to go. And I'll flip this and do that on the other side when I have a moment. Alright, so that little spare piece of clay that we had, this guy, I'm going to use him to make some supports. So I'm folding him in half, And then I'm going to take a, it doesn't really matter what size circle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this for maybe some legs on the back. And this is going to be support on the inside. So for example, I did this on the inside just for some extra support. And then also I made little legs, so I'll probably use that to create 4 little legs for it to go on. For my support, I'm just going to take it and cut it in half. And then I'm going to cut it into thirds. You can kind of think of this as a little lime for your tacos. Alright, so when this goes into your area back here for support, you're probably going to have to shave off a bit. So you can take off the corner now or wait till you get into position. So I can see when I did this, I have some that are at different sizes. It's not equal. So I'll just cut them, match them up, put them aside, and use the one that fits best. So this is really, doing the 6 is really for the 3 step taco tray. Now I'm going to cut the legs as well. And if you want for these legs, you can shape them into little pyramids. That's it for now. We're going to come back when the clay is set up a little bit, and I can show you about doing some compression and adding in supports and feet. See you then. Hi, we're back, and this has now set up quite a bit. It was only like maybe 30 minutes or so, but I put it outside in the wind, and so that helped it along. So at this point, you're going to need some kind of surface. And I have these little 2x2s, which I think are perfect. And what I'm going to do is put it on the ground next to here. And the reason I wait for this step is I don't want to ruin the design on the inside by this next procedure. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to the edge and I'm compressing the clay. And I'm basically telling it to go back to being straight. So I'm going to do this for all sides. Once I've done that step, I'm now going to stick in the supports on the back. I'm putting them about 1 inch from each edge. This is some vinegar water. After you've added these, be sure to go around it with a stick tool or a rubber tip to go make sure that these seams are compressed. And I'm doing it this side, I'll flip it and do the other side. And then also when I flipped it earlier, I did take care of the marks that were here for my original measurements. Lastly, I'm going to put on these feet. Before I do that, I want to make sure they're all at the same height or depth. And so I'm just going to gently press on them with a flat surface, and that should ensure the same height. And I'm just going to follow where I have my brace, is where along that same line is where I'm going to put the feet. So my memory card got full again. I'll need to remedy that in the future. But this is what the last bits that I was going to do is just after I've got the feet on, go around with the tool to make sure that the edges are compressed. Then you'll want to flip and do it on the other side. So now that I have it on the other side, I'm just going to double check that I don't have any grooves left from my earlier markings. And then I'm just going to check the condition of the edges. So I might need to go back over these and do some compression with my hands. And then you're going to treat this like you would a mug when you just put on handles. You're going to dry it slowly under plastic. And when you put it down this for the first time, if you notice some spread, then it's not ready to come down on its side yet. Another thing that you can do is you can take it up and look at it this way to see, does it look straight? I can already tell right now that I have a little bit of a raised edge here. So when this firms up a little bit more, I'm going to take this tool and I'm just going to shave it off a little bit. So that's it. There's your taco tray. Enjoy. Catch you next time.